Good evening. So today's question is, write the following numbers as the product of prime numbers. So when you are writing a number as a product of prime numbers, there are two methods that we use, and then I'm going to explain the two of them. You're going to choose the one that makes more sense to you or is easier and understandable for you. So one method is to use ladder method, and the other method is to use the tree method. So I'm going to start with the ladder method. So if we use a ladder, okay, you've got your number 25 on the right, and then you start by taking the lowest prime number, checking if is it divisible, is 25 divisible by that prime number. A number that is divisible is the number when it goes into the other number, it leaves no remainder. So you know one is not a prime. The next prime number after 1 is a 2. But then you check, if you say 25 divided by 2, it's going to leave you with a remainder, so we're not going to use that. Then the next prime number is a 3. If I say 25 divided by 3, I'm going to get 18 with the remainder. I'm going to get what? 24 with the remainder of 1. So 3 also is not a factor or a prime factor for 25. If I check 4, 4 is also going to leave me with the remainder. Then the next, 4 is not a prime, sorry. So the next prime after 2 and 3, the next prime is a 5. 25 divided by 5, it's a 5, it doesn't have a remainder. So that means that's my first prime number that I'm going to use. Then I say, what is 25 divided by 5? The answers, you put them on your right hand side. And then the numbers you are dividing by, you put them on the left hand side. So what is the next prime? We are at 5. So we check again. Does 5 goes into 5 without leaving a remainder? Yes. So I'm dividing by 5. And then 5 divided by 5 is a 1. The minute you get a 1, then you stop. You are done. Then at the end, you must write 25 is actually equals to 5 times 5. And then you don't like the extended way of writing this, expanded form, we want it in exponential form. So how many 5s do I have? 2 of them. Then I write 5 exponent 2. So 25 is actually 5 exponent 2 as a product of prime number. Then let's check if I use the tree method. So with the tree method, I have my 25, and then I divide my number into 2 factors. So what are the 2 numbers that it goes into 25? 5 times 5. Is 5 a prime number? Yes. Then I circle it. Is 5 a prime number? Yes. Then I'm done. Therefore, 25, you must also always conclude 5 times 5. But don't leave it in expanded form. Leave it as an exponential, because we're going to use this later on. So how many 5s do I have? I have 2 of them. Okay. So this was the easy one. So now let's look at the number 60 now. Writing number 60 as a product of prime. If I start with the ladder method, this is a tree method. So I'm going to do the ladder here, and then I'm going to do the tree method that side. If I start with the ladder, I'm going to draw my line, and then this is my 60 on the right. What is the lowest prime that goes into 60? Remember the first prime, the lowest prime number is, your prime numbers are your 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, and you carry on. You always start with the lowest one and check, does it go into 60? Lowest is 2. Does it go into 60 without leaving a remainder? Yes. How many times does it go into 60? So 60 divided by 2 is 30. Then I still check 2. Does 2 still goes into 30 without leaving a remainder? Yes. So I put a 2. How many times does 2 goes into 30? Meaning 30 divided by 2 is 15. Now, does 2 goes into 15 without leaving a remainder? No. So I can't use a 2. I go to the next prime number. The next prime number after 2, it's a 3. So does 3 goes into 15 without leaving a remainder? So you check, what is 15 divided by 3? That's a 5 without leaving a remainder. So how many times does 3 goes into 15? Is 5 times. Then I still check my 3. Does 3 goes into 5 without leaving a remainder? No, because it goes 1 time, leaves the 2. So it's not a factor of 5. Then what is the next prime number after 3? It's a 5. 5 goes into 5. Yes. What is 5 divided by 5? 1. The minute you get to a 1, and then you stop. You've listed all listed all the prime factors of this number. Therefore, 60 is equals to 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. But remember, we do not want your answer in expanded form. We want it in exponential form. Then you check what numbers do you have. You have a 2. You don't repeat numbers now. When we put in exponential form, you have 2, we have a 3, we have 5. Then you check how many 2's do we have? 1, 2. So that means I write 2 exponent 2. How many 3's do we have? Only 1. How many 5's do we have? Only 1. And then that is how you do your you write a number as a product of prime using the ladder method. But then some learners, they struggle with the ladder method and they find the tree method easier. So let's do the tree for 60. So when you do the tree, you are just branching out your number into 2 pieces all the way until you are no longer having all the end of that tree, the end of those branches, until they are all prime numbers. So when I separate the 60, what number goes into 60? I prefer to check the lowest number first, but it doesn't matter which way you go into. So the lowest prime is 2. So 60 comes from 2 times 30. And then you ask yourself, is 2 a prime? If it's a prime, please circle it. Then you know you are done with it. You can't expand it further. Then we check 30. So can we divide 30 into 2 pieces? 30 becomes 2 still goes into 30 is 2 times 15. Then I ask myself, is 2 a prime? Yes, it's a prime. Then I circle it. Then 15, is it a prime? It's not a prime. If it's not a prime, I still simplify it. So 15 also will go into 2 branches. 2 is not in there. The next one is 3. So 15 is 3 times 5, because when you branch it, when you bring it back, you multiply them back, they must give you that number. Is 3 a prime? Yes, I circle it. Is 5 a prime? Yes, I circle it. That means I'm done. Then I do my conclusion. Therefore, 60 is, you take all the numbers you circle, which are all the prime numbers. 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. But remember, we said you do not leave it in expanded form. So what numbers do I have? I have a 2, I have a 3, I have a 5. That's the representation of these numbers. Then you check how many of these numbers do you have. So how many 2's do we have? 2 of them. That becomes your exponent. How many 3's do we have? 1. How many 5's do we have? 1. Can you see now? It gives us the same answer. So you do the method that you understand better. But your teacher, even if your teacher only taught you the ladder method, if you do it with the tree method, if it's the one that you understand, they should still give you the mark. They will give you that mark. Then once you understand getting the writing a number as a product of prime numbers, then you are going to be able to understand how to get your highest common factor, how to get your lowest common multiples, especially for the big numbers. Because for small numbers, yes, you can do it manually, but then with the big numbers, you have to do it this way. So you need to understand this method, getting the prime, writing a number as a prime factors. Thank you. See you next time.